We are constantly told that blueberries are the ultimate superfood. We buy them by the plastic clamshell, trusting that those watery, fragile berries are the peak of antioxidant power. We swallow artificial vitamin pills and buy expensive imported citrus, believing the grocery store is our only lifeline to health. But nature has a very different standard for perfection. Hidden in some of the harshest climates on Earth is a radiant, bright orange berry that shatters everything we have been taught about nutrition. There exists a fruit that holds up to 100 times more vitamin C than the blueberries we so highly praise. It packs 10 to 15 times more immune defense than a fresh orange, and it stands as one of the very few plant sources on the entire planet to contain all four omega fatty acids, including the incredibly rare and deeply restorative omega-7. This is not a delicate, pampered crop that needs constant fertilizer, perfect soil, and mild weather to survive. This is a true biological fortress. It survives -40-degree winters, thrives in punishing coastal winds, and roots itself in barren, sandy wastelands where absolutely nothing else can grow. It is nearly impossible to kill, yet you will never find it in the fresh produce aisle of your local supermarket. Why is a plant so powerful, so impossibly resilient, and so cheap to grow completely missing from the American backyard? By the end of this video, I will show you exactly how to cultivate this forgotten biological miracle, harvest its golden medicine, and claim its incredible benefits for your own family. Welcome back to Ancestral Soil. To understand why this plant was quietly erased from our daily lives, we have to look closely at the way our modern food system is engineered. The corporate agricultural complex does not care about what is best for your body or your longevity. It only cares about what can survive a 2,000-mile journey in the dark, frozen back of an 18-wheeler. The sea buckthorn plant produces tight clusters of thin-skinned, brilliantly glowing berries nestled deep among sharp, imposing thorns. When these berries are perfectly ripe, they are so bursting with living energy and oils that they easily rupture and begin to ferment within hours of being picked. They cannot be violently harvested by giant machines, tossed into cardboard boxes and left to sit on a fluorescent-lit shelf for a week. In the eyes of corporate agriculture, this delicate window of freshness makes sea buckthorn entirely useless. There is simply no structural profit to be made from a fruit that demands to be eaten fresh from the branch or preserved immediately by the steady hands of the person who grew it. But the industry was not about to let such a profound source of nutrition go to waste. Because they could not sell you the fresh fruit in a clamshell, they found another way to monopolize this ancient medicine. They convinced us that true nutrition must come in a plastic bottle, a refined powder, or an overpriced glass dropper. Today, pharmaceutical and cosmetic conglomerates harvest these resilient berries, extract their precious oils in massive laboratories, and sell them right back to you. They package them in tiny, elegant bottles of anti-aging serums and specialized dietary supplements. They charge hundreds of dollars for a fraction of the nutrients that you could be growing freely outside your own kitchen window for mere pennies. We have been conditioned by a multi-billion-dollar system to believe that deep, restorative health is a luxury commodity. We are taught to rely on a fragile, expensive supply chain rather than our own capable hands and the fertile soil beneath our feet. But the truth is, this vibrant orange berry was never meant to be locked away in a laboratory or restricted to a high-end beauty counter. It was meant to be wild, fiercely resilient, and entirely yours. But the story of this resilient plant was not written in a modern corporate boardroom. It was forged thousands of years ago on the most unforgiving battlefields and the highest, coldest plateaus of the ancient world. Long before modern science could analyze a vitamin or isolate a fatty acid, our ancestors understood the profound biological power of this bright orange fruit. The ancient Greeks observed something truly miraculous during their grueling military campaigns. When the war horses of Alexander the Great became too exhausted, wounded, or sick to continue, they were often set free in dense thickets of wild, thorny bushes. The soldiers expected these broken animals to perish in the wilderness. Instead, days later, the horses emerged from the brush completely transformed. Their open wounds had closed, their exhausted muscles had regained their explosive strength, and their coats gleamed with a brilliant, healthy shine. This astounding recovery earned the plant its scientific name, hippophae, which translates directly from ancient Greek as the shining horse. Centuries later, the legendary conqueror Genghis Khan relied on these exact same berries to fuel his unstoppable cavalry across the frozen, punishing steppes of Asia. From the freezing altitudes of the Himalayas to the desolate, wind-swept plains of Siberia, indigenous healers and survivalists turned to sea buckthorn when absolutely no other food would grow. They did not have sterile laboratories or synthetic multivitamins. They had the harsh, unforgiving reality of nature, and they knew that consuming these berries meant the difference between surviving a brutal winter and freezing to death. They crushed the raw fruit to heal severe burns, soothe deep cuts, and protect their skin from the biting frost. They understood, through centuries of trial and error, that this plant was a living fortress, perfectly designed to transfer its resilience directly into the human body. Today, modern science is spending millions of dollars just to prove what those ancient survivalists already knew. Clinical researchers and prestigious medical journals are finally looking closely at the biological engine inside sea buckthorn. And what they are finding is nothing short of a botanical masterpiece. The medical world is particularly astounded by its incredibly high concentration of omega-7, also known as palmitoleic acid. This is a remarkably rare fatty acid that is almost impossible to find in the plant kingdom. Inside the human body, omega-7 acts as a master builder for our most vital cellular structures. It actively regenerates the delicate mucous membranes that line our entire digestive tract, soothing chronic inflammation and healing the gut from the inside out. It lubricates our blood vessels, supports robust cardiovascular health, and works to visibly reverse the physical signs of aging at a cellular level. But the brilliance of sea buckthorn goes far beyond what it does for human longevity. We must look at what it does beneath the soil. This plant is not just a passive shrub waiting to be watered and fed. It is a highly advanced, self-sustaining biological machine. The root system of the sea buckthorn possesses the rare and powerful ability to fix nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. It literally pulls fertilizer out of the thin air, drawing vital nitrogen down into the earth to feed itself. In doing so, it simultaneously heals and enriches the dead, barren soil around it. It creates life where life was previously considered impossible. Its survival mechanisms are so extraordinarily potent that the Russian space program specifically chose sea buckthorn oil to protect their cosmonauts. They included it in their strict orbital diets and used it as a specialized cream to shield human skin from the intense, damaging cosmic radiation of outer space. Science did not create this miracle. Science is simply trying to catch up to it. We have a plant so undeniably powerful that it fueled ancient empires, healed barren Earth, and protected modern space explorers. Yet the industrial food system would rather you forget it entirely, keeping you dependent on their fragile supply chains. You do not have to accept the limitations of the modern grocery store. True nutritional independence is waiting right outside your door. Bringing sea buckthorn into your own backyard is surprisingly simple, and it is truly a gardener's dream. This resilient shrub does not care if your soil is sandy, rocky, or completely degraded. Just give it a spot with plenty of blazing sunlight, and it will thrive for decades with almost zero effort. But there is one crucial rule you must follow to get that golden harvest. Sea buckthorn requires both male and female plants to produce fruit. The female bushes grow the berries, but they need the pollen from a male bush to do so. For every 5 to 7 female plants in your garden, simply plant one male nearby. Let the wind do the rest. Once established, your female bushes will be absolutely smothered in bright orange berries by late summer. But please do not try to pick them one by one. The fierce thorns will scratch your hands, and the delicate berries will burst between your fingers. Instead, use a brilliant trick developed by cold weather growers. Take your pruning shears and snip off the entire branches that are heavy with fruit. This actually acts as a healthy pruning, keeping the shrub vigorous for the following year. Take those cut branches inside and place them directly into your freezer overnight. The next day, just hold the frozen branch over a large bowl and tap the wood with a spoon. The berries will easily fall right off, like perfectly frozen little jewels. When you finally taste them, expect an intense, tart explosion of wild citrus. You can press these potent berries into a daily immunity juice. You can blend them into thick winter syrups to ward off colds, or extract their healing oils for your skin. You are no longer just gardening. You are growing a living, breathing pharmacy right in your own yard. Take back your health and plant the seeds of true self-reliance today. Thank you for watching Ancestral Soil. Subscribe to our channel and join us as we uncover more forgotten miracles of the natural world.